Hello, welcome back to the Smart English Official Podcast, the place where we transform your English from functional to phenomenal. I'm James, and I'm genuinely excited about today's deep dive.
And I'm Lima. Today's episode is like a masterclass in professional presence. We're not just teaching phrases. We're building your confidence toolkit for those make-or-break moments at work. Whether you're typing an email, leading a meeting, or just chatting by the water cooler, we've got you covered.
Exactly. We're breaking this down into 3 actionable sections. First, we'll decode the art of the perfect professional email from the subject line to the signature. Then we'll navigate the sometimes treacherous waters of meetings. And finally, we'll master the subtle dance of office small talk and networking. Ready, Lima?
Born ready, James. Let's start with the digital handshake, the email. Part 1. The art of the professional email.
So many people overthink emails. The secret, structure, and softness. Let's build one from the ground up, starting with the most overlooked part, the subject line.
Absolutely. A vague subject line like update or question is a one-way ticket to the ignored folder. Be specific and action-oriented. Compare meeting to action items from today's marketing sync, or question to quick input needed on Q3 budget proposal. Which ones would you open first?
Night and day difference. Now, the greeting. Dear Sir, Madam feels like a letter from 1950. Let's modernize. For someone you know, hi, Adam, or even hello, Adam, is perfect. For a first contact, dear first name, last name works well. And if you really don't know, hello team or greetings are safe bets.
The opening line is your tone setter. Ditch the robotic, I am writing to inform you. Instead, try a warmer, more human approach. Hope you're having a productive week. Thanks for sending this over or following up on our great conversation earlier. It immediately feels like a dialogue.
Now, the body-making requests. This is where softeners are your best friend. Instead of the commanding, send me the report, let's layer in courtesy. Option 1, the collaborative approach. Could you possibly share the latest sales figures when you have a moment? Option 2, the permission-based ask. Would it be possible to get your eyes on this draft by Friday?
Love those. And for the love of all things professional, avoid ASAP. It's stressful. Specify a gentle but clear timeline. If you could circle back by end of day Thursday, that would be fantastic. Or no major rush. But sometime before the weekend would be helpful. It shows respect for their workload.
What about when you need to deliver not so great news or push back politely? You can't just say no. You frame it. Instead of, this deadline is impossible, try to meet this deadline with the quality we aim for. I'd need until Tuesday. Would that work on your end? You're offering a solution, not just a problem.
That's diplomacy in action. And attaching files? Don't just say, I attach the file. Guide them. Please find the revised proposal attached for your review, or I've attached the report, with the key findings highlighted on page 3. You're making their job easier.
The closing is your final impression. Best regards is fine, but let's get strategic. If you want a response, looking forward to your thoughts. If you're thanking them, thanks again for your partnership on this. If it's internal and casual, talk soon or cheers can work. Then your full name and maybe your title. Clean and complete.
Let's do a quick before and after. Imagine you're asking a colleague in another department for data. Before, Anna, I need the user metrics for my presentation tomorrow. Send soon. After, hi Anna, hope your week is going well. I'm putting together a presentation for the leadership team tomorrow and was wondering if you could possibly share the latest user engagement metrics. The Q2 data would be perfect. Thanks so much for your help. Best, James.
That after email gets results and builds goodwill. It's clear, polite, and explains the why. Okay, listeners, let's move from the inbox to the conference room.
Part 2. Navigating meetings with confidence. Meetings can feel like a performance, but you're not an actor. You're a contributor. Your first tool is the purposeful entrance. Don't wait for an awkward silence. Use a transition phrase, building on what Mark just said, or if I can add a related point here.
And when you're introducing an idea, own it. Start strong. What I'm seeing from the data suggests, or the recommendation I'd put forward is, this project's authority. Avoid weak openings like, this might be a stupid idea, but...
Crucial point. Now, active agreement. Don't just nod. Verbalize it to show you're engaged and to support your colleagues. That's a brilliant point, Sarah. It directly addresses the bottleneck we discussed. Or I'm 100% aligned with David's approach. It's both innovative and practical.
Now the real test, diplomatic disagreement. The formula is acknowledge plus pivot. I really appreciate that perspective. My main concern, however, is, or you've made a strong case for option A. To play devil's advocate for a moment, option B might offer more long-term scalability. You're debating the idea, not the person.
And what if you're put on the spot? Buy yourself thinking time with these phrases. That's an excellent question. Let me gather my thoughts on that for a second, or to make sure I give you the most accurate answer. Could you clarify what you mean by streamline? This makes you look thoughtful, not flustered.
Also, become the meeting hero by summarizing and auctioning. When discussion goes in circles, you can say, so to make sure we're all aligned, the next steps seem to be 1. John will finalize the budget. 2. Maria will contact the client. Did I capture that correctly? This demonstrates leadership and clarity.
Perfect. And as James mentioned, if you're lost, speak up. I want to make sure I'm following the technical detail here. Could we take a step back? Is a sign of strength, not weakness.
Part 3. The subtle dance of small talk and networking. We've tackled the formal stuff. Now for the underrated skill that opens doors, casual, confident conversation. This isn't about weather. It's about connection.
The gold standard for opening a chat is the observation plus question combo. See someone with a company logo mug? Hey, I see you're a fellow coffee enthusiast. That's a great mug. Have you tried the new blend in the kitchen? See them working on a presentation? That deck looks intense. Is it for the board meeting next week?
Genius. It's specific and shows you're observant. Now for the classic, how are you? Trap. Have a go-to answer that's positive but real. Ditch. Fine. Try. Can't complain. Just digging into the new project plan. Or doing well. Keeping busy with the product launch, it's exciting. Then immediately pivot back to them. How about you? What's been the highlight of your week so far?
The pivot is everything. It keeps the ball in their court. Now, let's talk about the elevator pitch not for your startup, but for you. In a networking event, when someone asks, "What do you do?" don't just state your title. Give a snapshot. I'm in marketing, currently focused on making our new app absolutely irresistible to users. Or I work in finance, helping the sales team understand the story behind their numbers.
That's so much more engaging than I'm a marketing manager. It invites further questions, and your parting line should be just as strong. Instead of a weak, nice to meet you, try. It was really great learning about your work on the sustainability initiative. Let's definitely keep in touch. Or I really enjoyed our conversation. Good luck with the conference presentation.
And the follow-up email is non-negotiable. Within 24 hours, send a short note. Hi, name. It was a pleasure chatting with you at the conference today about specific topic you discussed. I found your insight on something they said particularly valuable. Let's connect on LinkedIn here. Link. Hope to cross paths again soon. Best, your name. This seals the connection.
Lima, this is a complete toolkit. From the first email to the lasting network connection, it's all about intentional, polished communication.
It really is. So, our challenge to you, our amazing listeners, this week, implement just 2 things. First, add 1 softening phrase to your emails. Second, prepare 1 better answer to "How are you?" for the office. Small, consistent steps lead to massive confidence.
We believe in you. Every interaction is a chance to practice. Be bold, be polite, and be yourself. The professional world is waiting for the unique value only you bring.
Thanks for spending this time with us. If you found this helpful, share it with 1 colleague who'd benefit, and let us know on social media which tip you're trying first.
Until next time, keep speaking with purpose and ambition. This is James and Lima, signing off from Smart English Official.
Bye, everyone.